Hi guys, today I have a special guest that I interviewed for you. He shares some of his tips on healthy eating, like how to order at restaurants if you are a shy and an agreeable person, on unsupportive family members, and more. Chef Bravo is also a contributor of the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle and offers a discount for one of his programs. But not only that, for only $49 you get over 100 pieces of plant-based weight loss focused content that is valued at over $4,600. If you don't know what the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle is, I'll share a link in the show notes where you can have a look. It's full of ebooks, video courses, and more from plant-based coaches, doctors, influencers, and others. When I dealt with binge eating for almost 15 years, I searched for help and I wished there was something available like this weight loss bundle. Therefore, I created something special for you with many other contributors of the bundle. At the end of the video, I'll share exactly what it is. And now let's get straight to the interview. Hi everybody, I have a special guest for you today. This is Chef Bravo, the executive chef of the TrueNorth Health Center, and he's a member of the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle, and he has an awesome program that is called Solutions for a Healthy Lifestyle Program. And Chef Bravo, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about the program and yourself.
Hi there, Justina. Thanks for having me on. I am a plant-based chef for TrueNorth Health Center in California. I've been there for about 15 years, and I was asked to join this great weight loss bundle by my good friend Chef AJ. And so what I contributed to the program is my latest online course, Solutions for a Healthy Lifestyle. Being a chef, I kind of know the healthy food and the recipes and all that stuff. But I think healthy living and a healthy relationship with food isn't just about having the healthy food around and knowing how to prepare it. But yeah, a lot of it has to do with the mental aspect. So it's really half of it is the diet, and the other half is the mental approach to it. And that's the point of having made this course is that there's things that we deal with that prevent us from engaging with the healthy food. Some of it is just previous unhealthy relationships that we had, and we have the emotional eating, cravings. Sometimes we have the best intentions and it doesn't work out because our willpower, quote unquote, fails us, or we don't have a system, we don't have a strategy in place, or sometimes we have all of that, but and I deal with this with a lot of my clients and the guests that come to TrueNorth. They have everything set up except for the fact that they live in a household with everybody else who does not want to go along with the healthier living, and that derails so many people. And so, that's what my program focuses on, simple solutions on how to tackle each one of those problems.
I guess that's a big one. This is what many of my clients face as well. And maybe you can share a tip. I saw that this is something your program includes. If, like, for example, family members that are unsupportive, do you have number one tip how to deal in such situations?
So you typically, there is the one person, the wife or the husband, who does the bulk of the cooking. And then everybody else just, expects to be fed. So a couple of things, like if the problem is, because I hear this a lot too, my children don't want to eat this way. So a way for me to deal with that, and I've dealt with this with my own daughter, is quote unquote give them power. And what that means is say something like, hey, I'm gonna let you choose what we eat. You can choose from this, this, and this. and we'll have whatever you want. And so although you are sort of restricting, leaving out the stuff that you don't want to eat, but you give them power where they say,
Power,
okay,
yeah.
I'm in charge, and when a kid, teenagers especially, when they feel like they are in control, it's much easier. And also if you include them and say, okay, I did this with my daughter. So I said, okay, let's, here's $20. You choose what we're going to eat, and I'll eat whatever you cook. Very quickly, she realized that $20 was not going to go very far if animal proteins were included, because it's just so expensive. So then I started saying, well, look, if we eat simple starches, potatoes and yams and all that, that's much cheaper. We can get a lot more food that way. And she just went with it. And she would come up with this great meals. And she was in charge and she was happy. It was her putting it together. So that's, how you deal with the kids. And then as far as the spouse, the adults, it's more of a approach of like, it's almost like getting rid of them, so to speak.
Okay.
Something like I'll say to the wife, like, well, what does your husband like to do, kind of a thing. And well, he's really into the cars or the yard and all that. I say, well, perfect. Say, honey, I will take care of dinner. You go deal with that. I'm really anxious to see what you put together for the yard, or I'm really looking forward to finishing that car that you've been working on. Do your thing, and let me take care of dinner, kind of a thing. So that you sort of get them out of the way.
Get them out of the way. That's good. And I mean, and how you tackle it if they don't like the food you prepare?
Oh, then at that point we focus on the individual and say, okay, you're gonna make some meals that they may or may not like. If they don't like them, that's when you have to be confident and sure about what you're doing. Because I'll say something like, okay, look, you're going to invest, I don't know, $1,000 into your health. You're going to shop different foods. You're going to get rid of things that you already have in the house. You're going to take some classes or listen to some podcasts, and all this requires time, effort, and money. So you're investing a certain amount of this into you. Now, any investment, you want it to come back as bigger. So if you're going to invest $1,000, quote unquote, you want like $1,500 back, or $2,000 back. And I'll say something like, if you make a meal and your spouse just, it's like, no, no go. Okay, if you give into that, suddenly instead of having $1,000 invested, you now only have about 980. So no one meal is going to completely destroy all of your investment, but they're going to chip away $15 there, $20 there, $10, and eventually your $1,000 just disappears. And so you have to have the right mindset of, okay, investing in your health is for yourself, by yourself, to yourself. And there comes a point where a family member really is either somebody who's going to stick with you through thin and thick, or sometimes what you have is a relative, somebody that you're related to, quote unquote, you share blood, but there's really no connection there. You don't have each other's back. So you get to decide who in your family, and this is people in your household who live with you, but you have the choice to decide, this person's a family member, this one's a relative. Family members will stick with you. The best thing sometimes a family member can do for you is simply to get out of your way and not trip you up, okay? Whereas, relatives, especially ones you don't see very often, the very first thing they want to know with you, they want to know is, what's going on with you, so they can criticize what you're doing, rather than like long lost cousins that you haven't seen for a while. So it's uh, empowering people to say, okay, I invested in myself and I'm going to see that I get a return on my investment. And people who want to come along, or at the very least get out of my way, those are my family. People who want to trip me up and want to be in my way, those are family members that I don't need to see very often.
Yeah, that's good. It sounds like that coping up with teenagers is even easier than with adults. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I find that, and a lot of people will say is like, my husband or my wife is so
Mhm.
set in their ways, they just don't want to go along
Yeah,
with this. That's fine. They don't have to come along, they really don't. They can either come along for the ride or don't. That's their choice. Your choice is to continue or let them drag you down. Okay. And that's kind of what we focus on, that section of the program there.
great. I guess this will help a lot of people because so many people in this community face this situation.
Yeah.
And I have another question. So, a lot of people I coach, and I guess you heard similar situations, your clients maybe are similar to those. They're shy, they're people pleasers, they're highly agreeable. How can these people order at restaurants? Even, I mean, I have clients, they're so afraid of asking what they want because they don't want to offend anybody, the social group they're with at the restaurant. What would you recommend for such types of personalities?
Yeah. So there is one particular lecture on my program dedicated just to uh, teach people how to order at restaurants. And it's actually probably one of the longest lectures in the program, um, only because I included a lot of uh, commentary from other chefs, from chefs out there in the real world, as to how they view people who want to eat healthy coming to their restaurant. And so I showed a lot of those commentaries and the reaction to that, just so that people see, what is the chef actually thinking? Because I can tell you something, but they're like, well, you're the healthy
Mhm.
chef. I want to know what the I
Yeah.
want to know what the other chef says. Um, so we have a video just on that, and I can tell you really quick that it's really about sort of scouting ahead of time. If you know you're going to go to a restaurant, because a lot of times birthday functions, work functions, family sort of gatherings do happen at restaurants. And a lot of times it's not a restaurant that we choose for ourselves. So we do have some strategies on how to deal with that. The main one would be to, once you know what the restaurant you're going to, give them a call in advance. Not Don't tell the waiter once you're sitting down, say, hey, I need a healthy meal, because that does not work. And in the video, I explain all the many reasons as to why it doesn't. What works best is to call ahead and say, hey, I'm going to be coming in party of, 8 for Smith tomorrow at 7. I have a restricted diet, but I'm hoping that if I give you, enough notice that the chef can work with me. And we teach the sort of the dialogue and the approach, and it's quite successful.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. And the last question I have, when you are living this healthy lifestyle or eating healthy, of course, there's some cooking involved, and some people love cooking and others don't. And I face this situation quite often that some of my clients, they don't enjoy cooking at all, but they have weight loss goals or just healthy eating in general. What would you recommend for such people? Do you have one tip or some tips? I guess this is also something that is included in your program. What would you recommend for such people?
Well, actually, there is, although I am Chef Bravo, that is my title. There is no cooking involved in this particular program.
Okay. Yeah.
I have
You
two
have
other ones
others. Yeah.
that deals strictly with cooking and recipes, and teaching somebody the very basics, starting with, how do you hold a knife properly? How do you chop properly? And we go through that. But I can say that, for somebody who doesn't like cooking, but they do have a weight loss goal, or a health goal, we'll call it a health goal. Very simple. We talk about in the program that is included here in the bundle. I have a great interview with my friend Chef AJ, where she explains calorie density, which is something I'm sure you're familiar with,
Yeah.
Justina. So calorie density talks about what is the biggest amount of food you can eat for the lowest amount of calories. So that way you're eating as much as you want, and yet you're still losing weight because calorie wise, you're not really consuming that much. So that's one that, deals with that. And also batch cooking. Batch cooking is very important when you're trying to lose weight, because life gets in the way, and, we don't have time necessarily to prep, chop, cook, and plate a whole meal every single time, every single day. So batch cooking is very important. In particular, in my advanced cooking course, we talk about batch cooking so that you have sort of we'll call it a base. So you have this one thing cooked, but you have a lot of it. And then you break it into smaller pieces, and you can finish it this way, that way. So out of the same thing, with only just a couple quick adjustments at the end, you have multiple different meals that look different, taste different, but yet you don't have to cook it all over, again. So
Great.
Batch cooking.
Batch cooking, yeah, that's it. It's an investment in your health, guys.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Chef Bravo, for the interview. Such a pleasure. There was a lot of helpful information. And guys, in the weight loss bundle, there are so many contributors with super helpful other products, ebooks you will enjoy. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing opportunity, and it's just limited. So don't miss it, guys. And yeah, thank you for being a guest at my channel, Chef Bravo.
Thank you for having me, Justina.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure to have Chef Bravo as my guest. I hope you enjoyed this interview. You have the opportunity to buy the bundle until March 2nd. You can have a look at all the other contributors. The link for the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle is in the show notes. Last but not least, I created a binge eating ebook. It's built like a guide with a ton of content that is included in the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Bye bye.